Again, I think as all of you know, the whole idea behind this project was to create an online community that would have a continuous dialogue and develop ideas on how to meet the future mobility challenge with all of you. And you are very much at the centre of this project. Some of you, I think, were here for last year's launch event, which I also had the privilege of moderating, and we had a very lively, very interactive discussion. We're dividing today into two parts. This morning, we're going to have an hour now where you're going to hear a little bit from various speakers to inspire, a bit more about the project, a little bit more to inspire your thinking. Then you're going to break off into workshops, which will be run by Hamon and Cyril. Where are they? Where are they? There they are, they're over there. So they're going to take over for the rest of this morning. And then this afternoon, you are going to have a debate with some leading CEOs from the industry and some leading EU policymakers. And the idea is very much that it's a conversation between you and them. So this morning, there's a lot of hard work to do to prepare that. I'll come back to that a bit later on. The only thing you need to think about for now is the whole purpose throughout the morning when you're listening to the speakers is, what questions would I ask the CEOs? I know you all know about the Ask a CEO competition, but what questions would I ask them? So have that in your head all morning. It's now my great pleasure to give the floor to Ivan Hodak, who is Secretary General of ACEA, who's going to make some welcome remarks. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Jackie, and welcome everybody. As Jackie said, my name is Ivan Hodak. I'm the Secretary General of ACEA. Jackie already asked you, did you enjoy the visit yesterday? How many of you have seen for the first time a car production? My God. Fine. You enjoyed it? Fantastic. Mobility. We are doing this project for various reasons, and I have to say that we are very proud that we have started last year. You remember that we have brought about the same number of people here to Brussels. We had a discussion with them for almost 1.5 or almost 2 days with the decision makers, with the people from the Commission, with our CEOs. There was an exhibition, and this is a continuity for it. For me personally, mobility is an extremely important issue, and I'm looking at it from several points of view. One is mobility as we see us, we are moving, and the second obviously is mobility, personal mobility. I was born in Czechoslovakia, I studied in Denmark, then I studied in Bruges at the College of Europe, and now I'm in Brussels. So I am kind of a mobile European. So that's one way how to look at mobility. The other way, obviously, and that's what we will be discussing with you today, that's what you will be discussing with the CEOs, with the commissioners, and with the members of the European Parliament, and among yourself, is mobility as such. How am I going to move tomorrow? We as an industry are very often described as conservative, male chauvinist, you name it. We are not that bad. I think we contribute to mobility again, we contribute to culture, we contribute to creating jobs, so we do not only kill and pollute. The cars are not in your way. The cars and whatever it is, trucks and buses, are here to help you to move and basically to have a better life. Now, talking among ourselves about it, at my age, a little bit over 50, I think it makes no sense. We need to talk to you. Because what we are doing, we are producing our products and designing our products not for us, but for young generation. And that's why we have started this project. To know what you want to do. How do you want to move tomorrow? What you see is essential, what we should do for you. It was not easy to select only 40 of you, there were a number of other applicants, but it was easy to tell you to get here the CEOs. You will see 4 of our CEOs, and it's not easy to get 4 of them to Brussels, trust me. You will have here 3 commissioners, again, trust me, not easy, and you will have here members of the Parliament. So enjoy it, have a nice day. in the morning, in the afternoon. You will be working, as Jackie told you, hard work in the morning, preparing the afternoon, prepare the questions. And you will be in able hands of Jackie and of ACEA staff and others. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you for being with us. We will see you in the afternoon. Enjoy first the morning and in the afternoon. Thanks a lot.
Now, before we do anything else, we have a first job for you, and that's to help us make a decision. I mentioned earlier the Ask a CEO competition, and we're going to show a compilation later of the 10 winning videos. 10 were selected by a committee made up of members of Think Young, the NGO Confrontation Europe, and ACEA, and then CEOs were picking one of the 2 top prizes, and there was a public vote to pick the other one. But the public vote was very close. So we decided that as this afternoon is all about you get to pick the second one between 2 entries. So we want you to decide which one of the 2, we're going to show you videos, which one of these 2 questions, which will be put in a shorter form this afternoon, but which one of these 2 questions should be put to the CEOs this afternoon. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you those 2 videos now, and then Charles, where's Charles? Where's Charles? There he is. He's going to come round. Charles, do they have a piece of paper all ready to vote, or?
No, they have to be distributed.
They have to be okay. While we're showing the videos, we'll distribute some paper for you to vote. Charles will then go round with a little ballot box. You just mark which video you would like, which question you think is the best one to put to the CEOs this afternoon, and then I will tell you, I won't tell you the result until this afternoon when we're live, and when we get to that bit, which is towards the end of the afternoon, there'll be 2 questions. Apart from all the other questions you put to the CEOs during the debate, these 2 questions will be put in the little award ceremony. So, if we can and if we're ready, can we show those 2 videos now? Okay, and you look and decide which one you think should be put to the CEOs.
Hi there, my name is Michael Tora. I have a background in computational neuroscience, and currently I'm doing a business study program jointly with the Daimler HQ. We are seeing now a lot of cooperations and partnerships among different automotive companies. However, we see only a few of such alliances between automotive and IT companies. The rapid increase of computing power and its application in domains such as image processing, machine learning, data mining, and so on led to new findings in all possible fields. Still, I have the impression that the automotive industry is not fully utilizing this technology. And as a result, a mobile phone seems to be more intelligent than all the electronic devices in a car. For example, cars do not help me in difficult traffic situations with augmented reality, neither adapt to frequently driven routes. In contrast, there are IT companies like Google, which already operate a driverless car successfully. So I think, as in most other industries, there will be a shift from production to services, i.e. from manufacturing cars to programming cars. I wonder how you plan to close this gap between IT and its related fields and the current state of automobiles. As such, my question to you, dear CEOs, is what is your vision of how the automotive industry and our cars will look like when you will take full advantage of the development in information technology? I would be pleased to discuss this and many more questions with you in Brussels.
Hi, my name is Daniel and I'm a young recently graduated engineer from Gothenburg, Sweden. I would like to take up the topic which was discussed in the recently OSM webinar number 8 about the car sharing in the future urban communities. It was mentioned about the increased traffic and car queues in the major cities around the world, as well as the lack of car parking places. For example, today a parking place in Paris could be more expensive than a flat in Berlin. There were many nice concepts of car sharing in this webinar, but one aspect which was not taken up that I also think is important is the social acceptance of car sharing. So my question to you, CEOs of the leading vehicle manufacturers, is how can we involve everyone, and how can we involve you in particular to join a car sharing program? And we like this video and accept me to be one of the young delegates who can share his or her ideas about innovation for Europe and skills for the future. It would be very nice to meet you all, as well as the other young talented students from all over Europe. Thank you.
Okay, so there you have it. The impact of IT or car sharing, to sum up their questions in a very truncated form. Please, could you mark, can I just check that all the young delegates have a voting form? If you don't, I've got some here. And if you need a pen, I've also got some of those. So hang on, I thought that might be the case. Let's, anybody else need a pen? Pen? Can you share sort of, there we go. So come on this side. There we are, come around if anybody else needs one. Anybody need one? Okay, so if you could quickly mark those, and then, as I say, we'll go away and count them, and this afternoon, when we have the competition, we will announce the two winners. I think some have already voted, so Charles will be going around it with his box in a little moment. We now move on. While you're doing that, let me introduce our next session. So if the box is going along a bit like in a church. You don't have to put money in it, you just have to vote. So, we're now going to move to an analysis of what is called the Book of Ideas. You may all be familiar with this from the website. Those of you who were here last year will know what it is. But the Book of Ideas was produced after last year's event. And we're going to hear a presentation now by Claudia Steinhoff and Anja Matthäus, who are two young employees from Daimler. They were at last year's event, they've been working on the Book of Ideas, and they're going to explain what has been done with the results of that over the last year. So what has been done by Daimler to actually try and implement some of those ideas. So where are you, Claudia and Anja? Here we are. Over to you. Let's make the area a little tidier for you.
So hi everybody, good morning, welcome also from our side. We are very happy to be here in this beautiful location, and I'm very happy to having the chance to present you our results of the analysis of the Book of Ideas during the last year, because Anja and I had the chance to be part of this project from the very beginning on. We were here in Brussels also last year, and therefore we do like the chance to present you our results and our expectation to today's event. Before we start, we would like to introduce ourselves shortly.
Hi, also warm welcome from my side to everyone. My name is Anja. I'm 30 years old, working for Daimler since March last year. I was also here in Brussels, and I'm working now for the truck division at Stuttgart headquarters.
My name is Claudius. I started working at Daimler in 2008, and I started with a dual study program in business administration, and now I'm working as a product manager for the new A-class. What we would like to tell you today are three stories. The first story is about what our future mobility now means to us, what our definition is of this project. Second story is about what happened so far, what happened at the last year's event, and what happened in the period afterwards until today. Third story is about what the future of the project looks like in our expectation, or what it should look like. So let's start with the first story. First story is what means our future mobility now to us. For us, future mobility now is very much about sharing ideas, sharing knowledge of young people, and put it together with the knowledge and expertise of the established CEOs. It's about sharing ideas, it's about sharing knowledge, it's about putting knowledge into one room and create something big. So at the end, our future mobility now is very much about connecting things. Connecting things is connect experiences you have with other experiences of maybe other people, and synthesize them to something completely new and to something completely big. And that something big can happen if you connect things. The following examples show you. First examples are smartphones. Smartphones are a combination of the computers with internet access and mobile phones. Today you have these all functions in one device, like mailing, your phone functions, PDA, photos, camera, whatever, and it's in one device, and it's great, isn't it? The second example is from our industry. The car industry was even made up by a connection of things. By the connection of a carriage with a 4-stroke engine And some clever people, time ago, created the car out of this, and it was the beginning of a new era of mobility. The third example are we, are you, the students together with the OEMs that do this Our Future Mobility Now project. And we think it's also a great connection of things, and we do think definitely that something great can happen, and we are keen to see what will happen today. The start of the project last year will now be presented by my lovely colleague Anya.
Thank you. Yeah, and so we come to the second part of today's presentation about what we have done last year in Brussels. For those who have not been there last year, young delegates from all over Europe have been here in order to discuss the future of mobility together with, you see some of them, CEOs, politicians and policymakers. For that, they could participate. Okay, it was two. Yeah, back. Okay, yeah, sorry. For that, they could participate to brainstorm their ideas in 4 thematic groups, namely skills for the future, new mobility services, urban communities tomorrow, and future technologies. During these workshops and discussions, all the ideas were graphically illustrated. Okay, last steps. During the workshops, and I think at the end of the day everyone was really excited about what has been produced and so motivated to do more that each and every idea, no matter crazy they were, have been summarized in the so-called Book of Ideas that you have also in your leaflet. I think they're summarized. So that was for us also, due to this event last year, our starting point, that we actually wanted to not only have a great book of ideas with theoretic content, but we really wanted to activate this book and to do more out of these ideas. So what we've done was to form a group called Daimler Youngsters, consisting of 10 people. Most of them have been in Brussels last year. And we wanted to analyze this book more intensively. Our starting point, or the first steps, were to have some workshops where we wanted to look through these ideas through customers' eyes, wanted to have a practical side for that, wanted to embed these ideas into real business models. And the Book of Ideas really inspired us to brainstorm again. So we sometimes came to even crazier ideas than before. But through it, we really came to the point where we could finally present these ideas to internal divisions. One step back, I'm really always too fast. Where we could really present these ideas to internal divisions, to employees, managers, and senior managers in different thematic divisions. The most important point for us was to embed these ideas into real projects, to really connect them to either existing projects at Daimler or to create new projects with it. But maybe you're curious about what we have actually done. So as we later on discuss about skills and innovation, on the other hand, we wanted to give you some examples out of these two groups. Last year you were calling for star engineers who wanted to express their individuality by overcoming bureaucratic burdens. So what else is better than what else is actually better than competition, we thought, in order to motivate people to really give their best, to have passionate employees giving their knowledge and ability in teams. Here we could support and work together with a well-established project within Daimler, which is called Genius, who is also supporting the really youngest in kindergarten and school to be fascinated later on for technical programs. The second concept we thought of was the concept of team experts. Yeah, they could, without bureaucratic burdens or even in different hierarchical levels, they could give their best knowledge to their colleagues. Here we could also collaborate with the Gender Diversity Office and with our corporate academy. So the focus for us was to really create or have people that are, with their individual skills, able to create the future for us. A second really important group was the group Mobility Services and Urban Community Tomorrow. They actually, in Brussels last year, wanted to have ask for the connection of different and established mobility concepts that wanted to be embedded in the digital world today. So our idea was to have a digital mobility assistant who will help you to find your way, for example, through the city after a stressful day at work. You may want to have an afternoon drink at the other side of town. So this assistant will then give you the best opportunity for you to come to this bar and also connect it to personal preferences, such as the price you're willing to pay for a certain service, or also the weather that will be maybe really bad during the day, and so you don't want to have the opportunity to walk somewhere. This idea, we found out, was already in the process of being produced within our company. So there were certain divisions producing an app for smartphones, which is called Google, and has just recently released. So this app has really the task to give you the best way from point A to point B by connecting different transport means, as well as electric bikes or taxi plans, and also the opportunities of car sharing and renting opportunities. So you see that all your ideas, we try to really connect them to real projects, actually.
Okay, third story, what the future of this project should look like and what's next. So the start was very promising and the last year's event was great. We did some hopefully good things out of the book of ideas. We are pretty sure that the other OEMs did something similar, and so the start was good. But now it's our responsibility to keep this project alive, and we do like this project a lot, and we are keen to see what happens in the future, but it's at the end our responsibility, and it's a big chance for us. So please share your ideas, share your knowledge, and ask all questions you have to us, and especially to the CEOs today in the afternoon. And then be willing to think big, and then we are willing to accept that we can influence the future of our mobility. Then we are very confident that the project is going to stay as great as it already is. So, and what happens if you think big and if you stick to an idea, shows you some examples like Skype or ACEA or Car2Go and many other examples. So if you stick to an idea and if you are willing to bring these ideas to reality, then something great can happen. And all these ideas, products, services are great, and we do love them today. But all of them started with a very small idea, and some crazy people that were crazy enough to think that these ideas could work and brought them to reality. So let's try to do the same. Let's try to create the future of our mobility, the combination of young students with the CEOs and the OEMs. And therefore, please, let's start to think big, let's start to connect things and have fun during the day, enjoy the workshops in the morning, enjoy the debate in the afternoon. Come to us if you have any questions, and besides that, enjoy the day and make the best out of it today and also in the future. Thank you very much.
Just for a minute, if there are any burning questions, do have a couple of minutes, so if anyone has a question, or indeed wants to share, as they said, probably other companies have been doing similar things to follow up on what happened last year. If anybody has a burning question or thought at this point, or are you all still in need of more caffeine injection first? Let me come out. It's really great if you can tell me. I'm going to try and learn your names a bit before this afternoon, so I know who you are. I don't promise to get it right, but if you tell me your name and you keep telling me, I might remember some of them later.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Daniel, and I'm from IQ Gothenburg. And I have a question about the app which you mentioned. Are you taking also the weather into the consideration of the smart choice?
You mean if it's already available today, or?
No, I mean if like you suggest some different choice of mobility, but do you also take the current or predicted weather into account when?
That's an idea we already, or we also have, and it's today's application that is also available for the Stuttgart area so far in the App Store. It's not included, but it was one of the ideas with highest priority. So please put the weather in it, please put your level of mobility in it, please put maybe also your alcohol level in it or whatever. Because the choice of the best way to move from A to B is very dependent on many functions, and we would like to implement as many functions as possible, and weather is one of the most important, I guess.
So to answer to your questions, no, it's not really there yet, but it will come.
Okay, any other questions for them? Hang on, there's one right at the back here. Bear with me when I get to you. Hang on a second, please.
I'm Matthias and I'm reporting from this event here today. And I was also attending last year, and I'm just curious about what you said about Movable, this application that you developed. So this is really one product or concept that directly came out of last year's event, that you took out and you said, this is an idea you want to follow?
No, there was, during our process of having these ideas and mixing the original ideas with our ideas, we came to the point where we found out that Daimler had this idea already. So actually, we could support our own projects with your and with our own ideas.
So as Claudia said, a classic example of the two things coming together.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other questions before we move on? Okay, if not, will you join me in thanking Claudius and Anya very much again? Thank you. I think that Claudius really put it extremely well when he said, it's all about putting knowledge into one room and creating something big. And you also talked about putting your ideas together with the knowledge and experience of the CEOs, and that is exactly what today is all about. And it was so great to see that last year's event has been a catalyst, not just for thinking within the project, but also outside the project, you creating your own networks, and ended there with Claudius's appeal for action. It's great to see the commitment you have to it. Hopefully others will share your enthusiasm as the day goes on. So, what we're going to do next is we're going to move to a presentation of a study that has been done by Think Young, and it's about the youth jargon word, skills mismatch. They will tell you what that means and what it's all about. And this is intended to inspire and make you think about some issues related to our second panel discussion this afternoon, because we're going to do one on innovation and then one on skills. This is designed to inspire that, and I'm delighted to welcome Alessandro Tirafani, who is a research fellow, and Alberto Gerosa, founder and chief thinker. I like the job title, chief thinker at Think Young. And the study was commissioned by the project to stimulate a wider debate on the role of young people in a changing Europe. Do you want this? Do you want that? It's entirely up to you. Happy there? There's a clicker there.
I'm not that old. So, we are here to speak about mobility, we are here about to speak skills. So, we did a study about skills mismatch and mobility. It's a very cultural topic that affects young people. So, we did this video with the Think Young Club, and I'm the main author of this report. Luckily, they forgot to put my name, so I had the chance to sign it. I would be glad to do it. So, okay, let's get to the point. First of all, describe who we are. We are a think tank based in Brussels. We are more than 10 nationalities. We are all young people. And our point is to give voice to the young people. We have done a lot of the job before, but we really care about this project. So getting to the point is what is a skill mismatch and when we speak about it today. Skill mismatch has been defined in so many ways, it's impossible to give one answer. Our point of view today is to speak about the gap between which are the skills of young people and which are the skills needed by the job market, and why there is this gap from several points of view. Why we take a social and cultural approach? Because it's a social and cultural phenomenon. Often is analyzed only as an economic factor, but it's deeper, and to analyze it only from an economic point of view is wrong. It will not lead to any solution. So what we have done, we did a survey, a project of 6 months. The core part for my side, it was a survey of 22 questions. We had 868 respondents, all young people living in Europe. Not only European Union countries, but all Europe. 16 languages, 48 countries, 50% student, 25% working. We tried to be as representative as possible. It was internet-based. Then we interviewed 6 experts on skills, both of European Union, etc., and of companies, car companies as well. Then we did a documentary in 6 languages, and in the end, an online archive where people could upload a file. So, which is our main result? First of all, we try to understand what young people want from the ideal job. Why this? Because if we understand why people and what people have in mind when they think about ideal job, we can solve all the soft skills, we can solve all the long-run commitment that undermine the acquisition of skills needed for companies, instead of always speaking about all the specific skills. And we see that, I don't know if there is the laser. Wow, no, you don't see it. Anyway, remuneration is only the secondary element. We found it challenging. We want a job that is travel and dynamic, happiness, fun, passion, rewarding, I don't know, networking even. I know that are immaterial things, a company cannot give everything of these things, but this is what young people told us when they have in mind ideal job. Then we ask, which goals do you look for in a job? Which are their long-term underlying goals? And 51% answer have enough money to take care of non-personal interest. And with this economic downturn, no surprise. But it's a surprise that most people said become an expert in a field, that we will come back to this topic later. But even like improve the life of the others, discover something unique. So there is high idealism, even though media usually talk about a lost generation that needs only short-term wage. So to summarize our results, there are several important things. First of all, on the contrary of the main media, most of the people do not think that much that they are mismatched. 82% is willing to perceive its best to reach the ideal job. And when speaking about current job, people say that they are rather matched. Why? Well, it's difficult to define, but we try to find some answers. The first of all, probably because the current job is a temporary one, and they had the opportunity to choose it and get habit, but the other two are more important. The first one is that young people, especially our target, is highly adaptable. That means they are willing to travel, they are willing to take a challenging job, and they do it without the help of the European Union programs, after we get to the point. So they do them by themselves. And secondly, that maybe is one of the strongest results, what young people look for in a job is an industry more than a specific growth. That it means that they care the most to be in an industry, they care the most to be in that field, and then the position is not of the utmost importance. So to try to define skills, especially related to a role instead of a field, it can be a mistake from companies trying to solve the problem. So we summarize most of the questions, and we create an index that is like weight the questions, and you find on your right, you find the 0, that means that people is totally mismatched, and 1, that people is totally matched. So in 1, the skills of the people, young people, fits the requirement of the job, and in 0, the skills of the people do not fit at all the requirement of the job. And this is a self-assessment of young people, but you see that they are squeezed toward I feel matched. So the people say, either I'm not that bad in my job and I have the skills. And this is a little bit contrary to media perception. So to summarize what we found, we decided to give some advice to young people. And the first one is pretty strong. Get informed. Inform yourself of where you're going to work. Get informed of the industry you're going to work within. Try to connect with the European Association and get information of the job will actually look like. Then, I know it's difficult to say it in this economic period, but try to create a focused profile. That it means that in the end, when you select a job or you select an internship, you find a sense in it. You find a path during the past. I know it's difficult, of course, but this should be the attempt. And eventually, I think this is interesting, I've heard several times, to propose a project of life. That means you're going to spend 6 months, 1 year, several years in a company. How does this company, how does this job fit in your life? How this makes sense in your project of life? This will help you a lot to lower skills mismatch and to help you to get a better job and maybe look good in the interview. So we asked the other side, and we wanted to listen from experts which is the problem. And we heard a different story. First of all, most of the people interviewed, if not all, underline a lack of soft and hard skills. That means that for them, skill mismatch is there. Moreover, the biggest problem is that there is not a mastering of niche skills. That it means that people may have a general knowledge of the topic, but when they get to the technical point, they have no clue what they're speaking about. And eventually there is a problem, let's go back to the previous slide, a difficulty in accepting obligatory and everyday tasks that are part of every job. So this short-termism of young people always connected, etc., make them forget that in 6 months, 8 months, a job cannot be exciting every day. So which are our advices based on all our job? First of all, in advertisement, these are things that can be done pretty quick. Highlight very specific skills needed in job advertisement. Say exactly what is needed. Be more clear. More than soft skills, explain what the people have to do. Or like, I don't know, if is needed a program, explain it. Explain if they can train inside or not. Secondly, I think it's important, European Union is working a lot about it, identify transferable skills. So understand how people today is skilled and in a way that doesn't fit your company, well, how you can transfer these skills. This will save you money and will help you to get pupils. And eventually, the last one, there is a huge literature on the topic, so it's more a debate. And the idea to redesign the workspace and to adapt the whole structure of companies, especially the creativity job, in a new way. So try to underline and fulfill the goals we saw before of that young people would like to achieve, changing the structure of the job in its very nature. Okay, so now we are in Brussels, so we have to speak about European Union programs. And if you see that the green parts are the people that never heard in their life about these programs, we understand that maybe the biggest problem in the European Union, everybody talk about it, I know, but it's not that we don't have programs, but that people never heard about it. You see that even Comenius, that actually helps people, even in secondary school, never heard about anyone. And only Erasmus is known when it's applied by some people. So based on this result, our point to get advices, to give advices to European policymakers is, first of all, everybody say it, but it's important, enforce and better promote European Union programs, because even if you think several of us, we are here because we got grants for European Union, and they gave us great opportunities. Then the second one is work even not at university level. 1% reduction of school dropouts means 500,000 more skilled people. That it means that if we work before, people even that didn't go to the university can get skilled and can help our economy to restart. And the last one is a very broad topic, and that is going on. And since usually universities are spoken against as like one of the main problems, There are researchers that say that maybe we should work on education to create a citizen that they are adaptable in the long run. So do not create specific skills for specific industry that maybe in 5 years are not there anymore, but to create adaptable people willing to learn, European citizens. And this is a discussion, but I think it was a very good point of this American researcher. So finally, we don't think with this study that there is a lost generation, but the perception is different. We can say that we are idealistic, but there is adaptability, mobility, and willingness to achieve ideal jobs, especially in a period where all the media speak about the economic crisis as the worst thing it will ever do to this generation. So these are our contacts, and this is the video we're going to see now, a part of it. And so the Think Lab created it, so thank you to them, and thank you for your attention.